88.5. 88.5 WQOX on your radio and online. Grand Rising, everybody. Thanks for turning us on, allowing us to hang out with you on this gorgeous day, man. We've got some exciting things happening in the city of Memphis, a lot of growth, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of exciting people that are coming and going in the city. Some are coming to stay, some are just coming for a little while. But whatever the case, we are glad here at 88.5 that we can expose you to some great things that are happening in the city of Memphis. And this lady with me now is no stranger to 88.5, of course, representing the Memphis Medical District. Grand Rising to you, ma'am. Tell us your name and your position and what you're doing over there.
Rhonda Brown, and I am the Senior Director of Real Estate and Economic Development for the Memphis Medical District Collaborative.
Ah, that's what's up. So real estate in just that particular area, but what does that encompass from what streets to what streets?
So the Medical District Collaborative cover 2.6 miles between Midtown and downtown.
Okay.
So where all of the educational and medical institutions are, so UTF Sciences, all the way over to St. Jude Alsac.
Wow. Who is that, the McDonald's on Union? Is it Union? McDonald's right there? You know what I'm talking about?
Union and, close to Union and Pauline.
Yeah. And if you back up, they just built something pretty and new right there. Who is that?
Oh, that is the Baptist Health Sciences new medical school.
Wow. I mean, It looks very
It's
impressive.
gorgeous,
wow.
Yes.
Does that used to be the Shrine thing or the Sonic Temple or something? I don't know if I'm trying to get my buildings right. But
now, we may be on different sides. So right at Union and Cleveland, close to not Union and Cleveland, Union and Pauline, close to the Walgreens is where the new Baptist Health Sciences University Medical School.
Okay.
By where you're talking about, are you talking about the new Aldi grocery store?
No, yeah, I know the Aldi. Okay, so if you're using the Aldi and you went past the Aldi, it's something right there, right when you come into that light, right there behind the McDonald's, on the same side as the McDonald's.
I don't know.
No, okay, all right.
I don't know what
I think you might have had it right the first time, though. It might be that what you said. So,
Baptist Health Sciences new medical school.
All right, well, that might not sound good. I guess one of them working with just put both of them up there. All right, but it's all good. So so that's what you're responsible for, and of course a lot of changes have already happened in that area. Any particular, before we get to what we're talking about, any new big kind of things happening? Because you're also responsible in that health science park in that area. Anything new coming down the pike?
Right. So, of course, again, we're excited about the new Aldi that just opened up a couple of weeks ago.
So it's actually open now.
It's open now.
Okay.
That is something that has always been wanted and needed in the medical district.
Okay.
So we're very excited about that. They are now a community partner of ours.
Wow. Now the kids can go across the street from Southwest and get a snack.
Yes. But we also are now the owners of the Memphis Medical District Park that used to be Health Sciences Park.
Okay.
So we are the new owners of that park.
Wow.
So we just had back in February the unveiling of some new monuments.
Okay.
Monuments to motherhood.
Okay.
To really dedicate to all of the healthcare providers or anyone out there that's a caregiver.
Yeah.
That's what those monuments represent.
Wow. And so if people then now want to maybe use the park for different events or whatever, they don't go through the same people, they go through different people now?
Through us.
Okay. And us being the Memphis Medical District
Collaborative. Yes.
Okay. All right. You guys got a website or something?
www.mdcollaborative.org.
Okay. All right. And I think Victoria is coming with is it no other guests? All right. So we good? All right, so cool. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Coming up next week, you guys have got some big things going. And we wanted to avail our audience of that information because next week is, what kind of week is this designated as?
Next week, we are celebrating National Small Business Week.
Okay, National Small Business Week.
Yes, and that is through the Small Business Administration. So that is where we really want to celebrate and recognize all of our small businesses and entrepreneurs.
Just in the medical district, or you kind
of all over? This is all over. This is a national thing. Now, with us, with our National Small Business Week, we're going to do it with a twist.
Okay.
So it's going to be more focused on procurement. And when I mention procurement, that's more that B2B business to business, than that B2C business to customer.
Okay. And so there are a lot of people who don't know how to access the first steps. Maybe they've got a small business and they're trying to build to capacity and they're ready to kind of branch out. And even if they aren't ready to full scale to get the big super contract, at least getting into the game, into the flow. Is this kind of what this week is about?
So yes, any business that wants to get into that B2B business, we are there to help them, as well as our community partners.
Okay.
So we of course want them to have capacity.
Yeah.
A lot of the larger contracts that come with procurement, they may be millions or billions of dollars.
Okay.
However, we may have a small business or entrepreneur that don't have capacity for that, but we want at least our procurement teams with the medical and the educational universities to carve out a little bit for them. So if they may not get the full $1 million contract, but we want them to carve out a little bit for them so they can help build their capacity.
Yeah, and then sometimes just being in the right place at the right time. I've heard where companies have capacity, but they don't have a diversity piece, or they don't have one little piece. You know what I mean? They could, and they need this desperately in order to get this contract. And if you are swirling around somewhere in there, and you have at least the ability to do something, good in your business, then you could be partnered with those people and put inside their bid, right? Is that how it goes?
So with our Buy Local program, with the Memphis Medical District Collaborative, we have participating anchors, and those are St. Jude Alsac, Regional 1, Methodist Le Bonheur, Southern College of Optometry, and UT Health Sciences. We want them to do business with local, minority, and women-owned businesses. Why? Because they're the backbone of our economy. We want to keep those local dollars here, so we want them to do business with those local small businesses, minority and women-owned businesses here.
You've got some very interesting people that are coming to be a part of a panel. You got some folks coming throughout the week for different events. Can you start us off with the first of the week, and then what type of people, who should be coming to these type of events?
I would say any small business or entrepreneur that has a product or service that they want to get out there. So the first class that we're having with our National Small Business Week is Meet the Government Specialist. So I am now joined by the great Dr. Daphne Swift, Esquire, MBA, who has just gotten into the local government contracting with City of Memphis, but now is doing federal contracting. So she is going to be sitting on a panel with Corey Adams, who is a teaming agreement specialist. So if there's a large contract, he only have a piece of it. He can build a team in order to cover the entire contract. So that's what a teaming agreement is. So we have two forces that's going to be Monday from 11 to 1 at Ugly Art Co., and that's going to be our Meet the Government Specialist panel.
All right, and that is this coming Monday.
It's Monday, May the 5th.
Yes, and May the 5th be with you, not the 4th.
Yes.
Anyway,
we want to be with them. They need to come out.
And of course, what time did you say it starts?
It's from 11 to 1 at Ugly Art Co. in the Edge District.
And before we talk more about what this panel is going to be about, is it open to the public? Do they need to register in advance? How does that work?
We would like for them to register in advance, but it is open to the public. And I would just say anyone that wants to get into that B2B, business to business, whether you are selling dog food, or if you have a huge construction company, we want you to come out to learn more about how to get into that government specialist role. And
in Memphis, in this Aquarian age that we're in, which is the age of information, it's a lot of information going right now. And now is the time to build capacity, meet people, learn how to grow, and just be in those spaces, because you never know what you can learn. Let's hear from one of those panelists real quickly. Yes, ma'am. How are you? Welcome into 88.5.
Hello. I'm Dr. Daphne Swift. Thank you for having me here today.
Dr. Swift, are you originally from Memphis?
I am not originally from Memphis, but I have been here many years. So I can say I'm a former Memphian now.
All right. Well, I always look for that just to have you say Maine. Can you say Maine?
I can try.
Man.
Maine?
A little juice on it.
A little juice
All right.
Okay.
So in business, what have you found some of the hindrances for small businesses? Maybe their capacity to believe, maybe their capacity to dream and to really get out of their own way. What do you say to small business owners that are listening right now and about this climate in Memphis and how they should participate in next week's events?
I think it'll be extremely vital for them to come out to the events next week.
Okay.
Because the climate is definitely changing in the business world.
Okay.
And going into government contracts for me has been very successful.
Okay.
Because with government contracts, at least you know that the money's going to be there with the government, and you're not having to chase your clients.
Yeah.
Most government contracts are going to be 3 years. They'll give you the 1 year with the 2-year extensions, which equals 3 years. So for 3 years, you know for sure that you're going to have X amount of dollars coming in.
Yeah.
As a small business, that helps you be able to scale as well because you can pace yourself.
Okay.
So I always push government contracts. Also, get your business certified.
Okay. Two things. One is the certification. There are steps to that, and then secondly, your small business should have certain tenets to even be able to play in this particular field. I would imagine, W-2s, just the basic ducks in the row, right?
You definitely have to have all of your ducks in a row, so to speak. You definitely have to have your tax returns, your business license, insurances.
Okay.
There are certain, general liability insurance.
And that gets a lot of people right there. Just that.
It does, and that's some of the, barriers for small minority businesses, not knowing all of the expectations to do business with the government. So I do teach classes as well.
Okay.
I did a series with Shelby County where I went to various districts to teach people how to do business with the government, because that's one of the main barriers is just knowing how to get in the government sector, because oftentimes when people hear the word government, they get intimidated. But you can do business with the government. It's extra work, but it can happen.
Okay.
And so as a small business, if that's something you're interested in, then I just say you have to put your seatbelt on and buckle down and do what needs to be done to get your business to that step. I've been in the government sector over a decade with contracts in various states and moved to the federal level. So it can be done. Right now we are in Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, Florida. We've gotten approved as a vendor in Arizona and California. We've worked with FEMA on various projects, as well as local government. So from local government, state government to federal government. So it can happen.
These classes, are they year-round or just scheduled by appointment, or how does it work? Classes
It can be both.
Okay.
The ones that I spoke about, they were scheduled because Shelby County Commissioners Charlie Caswell and Mikhail Lowry endorsed me to help them with their small business initiative, and so we did a round of classes as well as the Fraser CDC and the Raleigh CDC. So we did those districts, and we had almost 100 new small businesses get registered as vendors with Shelby County and City of Memphis and go through the process to get their businesses certified. We also have had some of those attendees secure government contracts, and so one individual actually secured a $500,000 contract. So I helped him start his business and become a vendor, get registered, do the certifications, helped him with the bid process, and he did win. So super excited about the successes of it, because it can happen. Like I said, it's just a lot of work, but if you're willing to do it, it can happen. It can be very lucrative for you.
That's what's up. Rhonda, on this coming, that's Monday, and then the rest of the week, what else? What do we have the next day?
So on Wednesday, we're going to have pitch to the procurement specialist.
Okay.
And
like a baby Shark Tank or something?
Almost like a baby Shark Tank. We want to get our small businesses and entrepreneurs prepared so when they are going before these procurement teams, they know what to do, what to say, not oversell, but also not undersell themselves. So it's almost like a 30-second elevator pitch. We want them to be able to tell exactly who they are, what they do, and how they can assist that procurement team, that business, that organization, whatever the case may be, help them to get to where they need to be.
Now, in reality, you generally, if I have a service, I usually pitch you and try to call you and get into your space, and then I have to get into you and get past your secretary and get into, and I have to go. So you're telling me you're going to put all these people in one space and allow me just, I'm not necessarily vying for a particular job, but I'm letting them know what we have available, right?
Right. So with our Buy Local program, with those participating anchors that I mentioned earlier, they normally reach out to us. We are like their supplier diversity. They reach out to us. They let us know, hey, we have an opportunity that's coming up. Do you have a vendor on your list that can possibly bid or do an RFQ or an RFP?
Yeah.
We go through our list. We see who has capacity. We refer them over to those procurement teams. However, if we have businesses that's on our list that we know that they don't have capacity, we're not going to recommend them to go and do an RFP or RFQ. We're going to work with them so the next time an opportunity come up, they are ready to go in front of these procurement teams. And look, we do pitches once a quarter. We bring our procurement teams in, and we bring in at least 2 small businesses to pitch their product or service once a quarter to them. But now, with next Wednesday's class, instead of having 2 small businesses, we can have 20 or 30 or however many come to be able to pitch their product or service and then get feedback to say, well, maybe you should do this or maybe you shouldn't do this. But I also wanted to say, to piggyback on what Daphne said, the government buy everything. People may think, oh, well, they're not going to buy what I have. The government will buy any product or service that's out there. So you got to get ready. You got to get ready so you can stay ready, so when the time comes, you can just go and do what you need to do.
Well, that is definitely some great information. And for those out there who have these small businesses who are just kind of spinning around in circles, or you're just having the same client over and over again, this is the time for you to branch out. And again, the website to access this to start, what's the website again?
So let me make sure I get it correct, because we got our director of communications and marketing here. It's www.the Medical District. MemphisMedicalDistrict.org. You can just go out on our website. You will see all the classes that's available next week on there. And I would be remiss not to do a shout out to our sponsors. Our sponsors are First Horizon Bank and Apex, which is out of Nashville, who is a regional partner of ours that also help small businesses and entrepreneurs get procurement ready.
You've got Monday, we've got Wednesday, and then you got one other day, right?
And then on Friday, that all businesses and entrepreneurs. So we're going to do our 2nd annual Buy Local Luncheon. We're going to have keynote speaker Ram from Chief of Procurement with Shelby County Government. She worked at MLGW, FedEx, and now she's going around the country talking about best practices when it comes to procurement. So she's going to be our keynote speaker. We're going to present some awards to 2 small businesses that have really made a difference here in the city of Memphis. And then we even gonna have an MC, so I don't know if we can name who the MC gonna be, but it will be the Michael Adrian Davis, and we just gonna have a good time. So I'm just gonna say this: a time will be had, and if you miss anything next week, you have missed something. So I would recommend that everybody go out, even if you think you want to start a small business. Go out on our website, sign up for those 2 Mind Your Business classes on Monday and Wednesday, and then maybe next year you will be one of those small businesses that we recognize.
The thing on Friday, that's for invitation only?
It's invite only.
So a full week and Small Business Week. What was the name of the total week again, you said?
It's National Small Business Week.
Small Business Week. I had a chance to go to the Memphis, well, they were the Black Business Association. Now they're called the Black Memphis Chamber. So I went to their event, and for tech companies, and Kanji Anthony was a presenter, and this other guy, I can't think of his name right now, I'll get it. But he had this machine that instead of folk being 150, 200 pounds, this machine would make them just be like 20 pounds, right, for medical hospital purposes.
Oh, really?
And he was a black guy, and he was seeking funding, and he'd already done a lot of stuff. And so I'm saying these are the kind of things and the people that need to be in these spaces and places, because a lot of people have dreams and visions, but you just don't know how to get into the into the right rooms. And so even if this isn't the right room, somebody in the room could tell you where the room you're looking for is. So I encourage them to get involved. Go ahead. What do you say?
They're gonna be in the right room, because when we have people like Dr. Daphne Swift, Corey Adams, when we're bringing individuals in for them to critique you on how you would make a pitch to a organization or corporation, to those procurement teams. You need that information in order to get yourself out there.
Yeah.
So again, the government buy everything. We, as Memphis Medical District Collaborative,
So if I'm making cakes and pies,
you better come.
Cookies.
Yes, you better come.
Okay.
And we're gonna help you, because if you making those cake and pies at homes, that's a no-no. We need to try to get you into a commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
So that will lead you to a brick and mortar. It can lead to so many things. But I wanted to say that the Memphis Medical District Collaborative, we walk the walk and we talk the talk. Everything that we buy from a local, minority, or woman-owned business here in Memphis.
Okay.
So we just not out here preaching, saying we want you to do this. No, we walk the walk and we talk the talk.
That's what's up. Well, if you're just joining us, I am talking with Rhonda and Miss Rhonda Brown, and of course she is representing the Memphis Medical District. We're talking about next week's activities that are starting on Monday, going through Friday, and you can go to the website to get all that information. But if you are a business owner, desire to be a small business owner, or if you know somebody, because you might have an auntie or a cousin that's not privy to this information right now, I encourage you to get with them, because a lot of Black people just don't know where to start. I don't know how else to say it. And those who have already got the wherewithal and the savvy to be in the game, well, congratulations to you. But I'm really kind of trying to make sure that those other persons out there, and it's good to hear you say that no product is too underneath, you know what I mean, so to speak. Everything is needed at some point in the government, even if they're just giving away cookies for some type of incentive, they'll still buy them. So, now is the time. All right, anything I forgot to ask, any other things you want to try to bring out before we close?
Well, just come out, get in front of these specialists that we have that has been in the game for a long time. They can share good experiences. They're going to share challenges. They're going to share the right road for you to take. But just get out there. Even these educators, summer is coming. That summer for me is one of the busiest time of year, because I have so many educators coming to me saying, I want to do this for a side hustle to get me through the summer. So everybody that can attend, they need to come and attend, because a time will be had and you will be glad that you did.
That's what's up. For those that won't be attending anything, but they have a dream and a vision, they've been sitting on the sidelines, what do you say to them? Because not only have you been in Memphis, but you've been in other places, in other spaces. How real is it? How realistic is it that a mom whose kids just graduated, now she's an empty nester, a dad who's been working for somebody for 20 years, how real is it for them to actually step out and to do something?
It's very realistic. You just have to tap into the right resources, because that's one of the main barriers, is resources and lack of information, having that knowledge. But I do work with all individuals. My specialty area is government contracts. But I would love for someone to contact me, get in contact with me. I host workshops. I do one-on-ones or groups, and they can reach me. My website is Halty Boss Business Academy.
First part of that was what?
HaltyBossBusinessAcademy.com.
Can you spell it for us?
Yes.
Okay.
HAUTE Boss BOSS Academy ACADEMY.com. And my phone number to the office is 901-237-7579. So we would love to have a conversation with them. I would say just stay motivated and write your vision and make it plain. Write out what you want to do and put action steps with that to make it realistic, so that you know what your next steps are and what you need to do. And if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is a dumb question.
Wow. I went to a workshop for nonprofits, and it was so for New Memphis, I think, and it was so informative. Just mission and vision. Just to know, okay, I had them mixed up. So the vision statement is basically the vehicle to get there, and the mission is the destination, right? And I had them just the opposite. So just little things like that can make your business go from not being chosen to being chosen, because you just have to know how to play the game. And rules are made to be broken, but you have to know what the rules are. You with me?
And you have to be able to step out on faith. You can't be scared. You just step out on faith. I have so many clients that one I will speak of was in senior leadership at International Paper. dad had a cheese dip recipe. Stepped out on faith. He was able to leave his corporate job. He has his cheese dip in every grocery store chain across the U.S. because he stepped out on faith. He didn't let anything stop. And I'm the type, I'm going to shoot from the hip. Either you on the train or you not. If you're on the train, I'm going to help you get to where your destination is. If not, then we need to go back. We need to go back to what Daphne said. We got to write it down. We got to figure it out. But whatever it is, if you really want it, you have to go out there and get it, because if you don't, somebody else will. And we want to give you that opportunity to go out and get it.
The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. But in reality, you got to get out there and put some work in. All right, final words, any shouts out you want to give to anybody?
Shout out to General Services, Miss Loretta Cox and her team. We work with them. We have a lot of contracts with them. She's with the city of Memphis. And they do a great job. A little under-recognized around the city, but she's a supervisor with General Services. They do a great job. And my team with the Cut Above Lawn Service is one of my other businesses. We have government contracts, and they do a lot of work around the city and various states as well. So I want to shout out to all of my crews and say, keep up the good work.
All right, that's what's up. And any shouts out you want to give?
Of course, to all the small businesses and entrepreneurs out there in the city of Memphis. But I would be remiss not to shout out our fabulous Director of Communications and Marketing here, Victoria Brinkley, and all of my colleagues at
She's somewhere down
Memphis
there.
Medical District Collaborative.
Okay. That's what's up. I was trying to show Victoria, but it's a lot of work. There she is. All right. It's all good. All right, Rhonda, well, thank you so very much, and thank you as well. And we hope that this information has helped somebody. Again, it's always a great time to start something new. And even if you can't make this particular weekend and you're seeing this video, just know that this information is always there. And she say they have these procurement pitches regularly. So whenever you do your double Dutch and you've been, faking it for a long time, whenever you get ready to jump in there, they'll be here ready to help you and to guide you along the way, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. If it's good and it's happening in the Mid-South, it's happening on the only station you and your family can agree on, WQOX 88.5 FM, Memphis. All right, look at it. Y'all did so well. Y'all did so good. All right, people, again, get at them, go online and get that information. And thanks for watching, all right? Bye-bye.